Beneath the surface of our everyday lives lies a world shrouded in mystery and wonder. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast desert, the hot wind blowing through ancient ruins, whispering secrets of times long gone. It's a place where history and myth blend together, creating a tapestry of stories that captivate our imaginations and leave us yearning for answers. This is the world of ancient mythologies and their unexplained discoveries. In the heart of these ancient stories are gods and goddesses, heroes and villains, creatures beyond belief, and events that seem impossible. These myths have been passed down through generations, each retelling adding its own layer of mystery. They are the backbone of civilizations, shaping cultures and beliefs, influencing art and literature, and connecting us to our ancestors. Yet, within these stories, there are mysteries that no one has been able to explain. One of the most intriguing aspects of ancient mythologies is the artifacts left behind. These relics, discovered in the dust and debris of forgotten cities, hold clues to our past that are both fascinating and baffling. Imagine an ancient machine found in the depths of the sea, its gears and dials so advanced that even modern scientists are puzzled by its existence. This is the Antikythera mechanism, a 2,000-year-old device that suggests our ancestors knew far more about astronomy and engineering than we ever imagined. Then there's the Baghdad battery, a clay jar filled with a mysterious substance capable of producing electricity. How did ancient people create such a thing? And for what purpose? These questions linger, sparking debates and inspiring countless theories, yet the true answers remain just out of reach. Maps, too, add to the enigma. The Piri Reis map, an ancient chart that shows parts of the world with incredible accuracy, including areas that should have been unknown at the time it was created. How did this knowledge come to be? Did ancient explorers reach further than we thought, or is there another explanation that we have yet to understand? But it's not just artifacts that hold mysteries. The very ground we walk on can be a puzzle. The Nazca lines, giant drawings etched into the Peruvian desert, can only be fully seen from the sky. Who made these massive designs, and why? Were they meant for the gods, or perhaps for beings from another world? The questions pile up as we gaze upon these enormous figures, feeling a chill run down our spines. Standing stones, too, whisper secrets. Stonehenge, with its massive, precisely placed rocks, has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. How did ancient people move these stones without modern machinery? And what purpose did this stone circle serve? Was it a calendar, a place of worship, or something else entirely? The more we study it, the more it seems to resist our understanding. The Great Pyramids of Giza are another wonder that leaves us in awe. These towering structures, built with such precision, continue to spark debates. How did the ancient Egyptians achieve such architectural feats? And what secrets lie within the hidden chambers and passageways? The pyramids stand as silent sentinels, guarding their secrets with an air of mystery that refuses to be dispelled. Travel across the ocean to Easter Island, and you'll find the Moai statues, giant stone heads that seem to watch over the island. How were these statues carved and transported? And why were they placed in such specific locations? The answers remain elusive, leaving us with more questions than solutions. In the hills of Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, a site that challenges everything we thought we knew about early human civilization. These massive stone pillars, adorned with intricate carvings, predate the pyramids by thousands of years. Who built this temple, and what was its purpose? The discovery of Göbekli Tepe has turned our understanding of history upside down, making us question the timeline of human development. The myths themselves are filled with beings and entities that defy explanation. The Anunnaki, ancient gods from Sumerian mythology, are said to have come from the stars. Could they be more than just stories? The Nephilim, mentioned in the Bible, are described as giants, the offspring of divine beings and humans. Who were they, really? And the jinn, spirits from Arabian mythology, capable of great magic and mischief, continue to fascinate and terrify. Ancient texts and symbols also add layers of mystery. The Voynich manuscript, an illustrated codex written in an unknown language, has baffled scholars for centuries. What secrets does it hold? The Codex Gigas, known as the Devil's Bible, is another enigma, with its eerie illustrations and legends of its creation. And the Rongorongo script of Easter Island remains undeciphered, its meaning lost to time. Places, too, hold mysteries that are hard to explain. The Bermuda Triangle, with its tales of disappearing ships and planes, has long been a source of fear and fascination. Is there a rational explanation, or does something more sinister lurk in those waters? The lost city of Atlantis, described by Plato, has inspired countless searches. Was it real, or just a story meant to teach a lesson? And the Oracle of Delphi, where ancient Greeks sought guidance from the gods, leaves us wondering about the true nature of those mystical experiences. Even entire civilizations are wrapped in mystery. The tales of Lemuria and Mu, continents said to have vanished beneath the waves, make us question what might have existed before our recorded history. The 10 lost tribes of Israel, their fate unknown, add another layer of intrigue. And Shambhala, a mythical kingdom described in Tibetan texts, stirs the imagination with its promises of hidden wisdom. Ancient objects and relics, too, hold their secrets close. The Holy Grail, the cup said to have been used by Jesus at the Last Supper, has been the subject of countless legends and searches. The Ark of the Covenant, a sacred chest said to hold the tablets of the 10 Commandments, remains one of the greatest mysteries of the Bible. These ancient mysteries captivate us because they touch something deep within us. They remind us that no matter how much we think we know, there is always more to learn, more to question, and more to wonder about. As we stand on the edge of these ancient worlds, we feel a connection to the past, a sense of awe and curiosity that drives us to keep searching, keep asking, and keep dreaming. It was a clear, calm day in 1900 when a group of sponge divers set out to explore the azure waters off the coast of Antikythera, a small Greek island. Little did they know, their routine dive would lead to one of the most astounding discoveries in history. As the divers descended into the depths, they stumbled upon the wreck of an ancient ship, its cargo scattered across the seabed. Among the broken pottery and bronze statues, something strange and unassuming lay hidden, a corroded lump of metal that would soon captivate the world. This unassuming object was later named the Antikythera mechanism. When archaeologists first brought it to the surface, they had no idea of its significance. It wasn't until decades later, when X-ray technology allowed scientists to peer inside the corroded mass, that the true nature of the mechanism was revealed. Inside the rusted shell were gears, dials, and inscriptions, all carefully crafted with a level of precision that seemed impossible for the ancient Greeks. As the layers of corrosion were painstakingly removed, a complex system of interlocking gears began to emerge. It became clear that this was no ordinary artifact. The Antikythera mechanism was an ancient analog computer designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. It was a tool of astonishing complexity, one that could chart the movements of the sun, moon, and even the planets. Its discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community, challenging everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. The mechanism's face, once claimed, revealed a series of dials and pointers, each meticulously engraved with Greek inscriptions. These inscriptions, when deciphered, hinted at its purpose. The largest dial represented the zodiac and the calendar year, while smaller dials tracked the cycles of the moon and the planets. It was a miniature universe, a mechanical model of the heavens, created over 2,000 years ago. The Antikythera mechanism's construction was nothing short of miraculous. Its gears, some with over 200 teeth, were cut with a precision that rivaled modern engineering. The sheer ingenuity required to design and build such a device was mind-boggling. Who could have created such a masterpiece? And how did they achieve such precision with the tools available to them at the time? The more scientists studied the mechanism, the more questions arose. One theory suggested that it was built by a team of skilled craftsmen under the guidance of a brilliant astronomer. Some even speculated that it could be the work of Archimedes, the legendary Greek mathematician and inventor. However, no definitive proof has been found to confirm these theories. The mystery deepened as researchers attempted to understand the full range of the mechanism's capabilities. It wasn't just a simple calendar or a tool for tracking the stars. The Antikythera mechanism could also predict solar and lunar eclipses, and it accounted for the irregular orbit of the moon using a sophisticated system of gears. This level of sophistication implied a deep understanding of both mathematics and astronomy. Despite these breakthroughs, many aspects of the mechanism remain unsolved. How widespread was the knowledge to create such devices? Was the Antikythera mechanism a unique invention, or were there others like it, lost to history? The shipwreck that contained the mechanism dates back to around 70 to 60 BC, but the device itself could be even older, suggesting that this advanced technology existed long before its discovery. The Antikythera mechanism also raised questions about the transmission of knowledge in the ancient world. How did the Greeks acquire such advanced understanding of gears and mechanics? Some scholars have proposed that they might have been influenced by earlier civilizations, such as the Babylonians, who were known for their astronomical observations. Others suggest that the Greeks developed this knowledge independently through a combination of mathematical prowess and practical experimentation. As researchers continue to study the mechanism, new theories and interpretations emerge. Some believe that it was used for educational purposes, teaching students about the movements of celestial bodies. Others think it may have had a more practical application, aiding sailors in navigation or helping farmers determine the best times for planting and harvesting. The true purpose of the Antikythera mechanism remains a topic of debate, adding to its allure and mystery. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism has not only reshaped our understanding of ancient technology but has also inspired a sense of wonder and curiosity about the past. It serves as a reminder that our ancestors were capable of incredible feats of ingenuity and craftsmanship, often in ways that we are only beginning to comprehend. The mechanism stands as a testament to the brilliance of the human mind and its relentless pursuit of knowledge. Even today, more than a century after its discovery, the Antikythera mechanism continues to captivate scientists, historians, and the public alike. It challenges us to look at history with fresh eyes, to consider the possibility that there are still many mysteries left to uncover. As we piece together the story of this ancient marvel, we are reminded of the endless potential for discovery that lies within the human spirit. On a hot summer day in 1938, Wilhelm Koenig, an archaeologist working at the National Museum of Iraq, made a discovery that would challenge our understanding of ancient technology. Buried in the sands of Kujut Rabu, near Baghdad, lay a collection of small clay jars, each containing a curious assembly of materials. What Koenig found would soon become known as the Baghdad Battery, an artifact that hinted at technological knowledge far beyond what anyone had imagined for that time. The jars were about the size of a man's hand, with a simple yet intriguing design. Each contained a copper cylinder and an iron rod, separated by a stopper of bitumen. When the iron rod was inserted into the copper cylinder, and the assembly was placed inside the clay jar, it resembled a primitive battery. But how could this be? These artifacts dated back to the Parthian or Sassanid periods, around 200 BCE to 650 CE, long before the invention of the modern battery. As Koenig examined the jars, he noticed that the iron rods showed signs of acid corrosion, as if they had once been immersed in a liquid that could conduct electricity. This discovery led to a startling hypothesis: the Baghdad battery might have been used to generate electrical power. But for what purpose? The possibilities were as mysterious as they were tantalizing. Some experts suggested that the batteries could have been used for electroplating, a process that involves coating objects with a thin layer of metal. If this were true, it would mean that ancient craftsmen possessed the knowledge to create intricate and beautiful metalwork using electricity, a technique that wouldn't be rediscovered until the 19th century. The thought of ancient artisans, hunched over their workbenches, using these clay jars to craft shimmering golden objects, sent shivers down the spine. Others believed the batteries might have had a medical use. Perhaps they were employed in therapeutic treatments, similar to how we use electrical currents today to stimulate muscles and relieve pain. The idea of ancient healers using electricity to treat ailments conjured images of long-forgotten practices, where science and magic intertwined in ways we can only guess at. There were even those who speculated that the Baghdad battery could have been a religious or ceremonial object. Could it be that these ancient people, seeking to connect with their gods, used the mysterious power of electricity in their rituals? The thought of priests and shamans, surrounded by the flickering light of oil lamps, harnessing this invisible force to communicate with the divine, added an almost mystical aura to the discovery. Despite these theories, the true purpose of the Baghdad battery remains an enigma. Each hypothesis raises more questions than it answers, adding layers of mystery to an already puzzling artifact. How did the knowledge to create such a device come about? Was it a result of isolated genius, or did it represent a broader understanding that has since been lost to time? One of the most intriguing aspects of the Baghdad battery is its simplicity. Unlike the Antikythera mechanism, with its complex gears and dials, the battery is composed of everyday materials: clay, copper, iron, and bitumen. This simplicity suggests that the knowledge to create it might have been more widespread than we realize. Could there have been other, similar devices scattered across the ancient world, their secrets waiting to be uncovered? As scientists and historians continue to study the Baghdad battery, new insights and theories emerge. Modern experiments have shown that when filled with a weak acid like vinegar or lemon juice, the batteries can indeed produce a small electrical current. This finding supports the idea that these jars were more than just curiosities; they were functional devices capable of generating power. However, the question of their exact use remains unanswered. Without more context, we are left to wonder about the daily lives of those who created and used these ancient batteries. What did they think when they saw the spark of electricity? Did they understand its full potential, or was it merely a curious phenomenon, something they harnessed without fully comprehending? The Baghdad battery stands as a testament to human ingenuity and the endless quest for knowledge. It reminds us that our ancestors were not so different from us, driven by the same curiosity and desire to push the boundaries of what is possible. As we continue to search for answers, we are connected to those who came before us, united in our shared pursuit of discovery. The sands of Iraq still hold many secrets, and the Baghdad battery is just one of the countless mysteries waiting to be uncovered. With each new discovery, we gain a glimpse into the past, a fleeting moment where history and legend collide, leaving us in awe of the wonders that lie hidden beneath the surface. As the sun sets over the ancient lands, casting long shadows across the desert, the story of the Baghdad battery remains a beacon of intrigue, a symbol of the enduring mystery of our past. In the dusty archives of the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, an ancient map lay hidden for centuries, waiting to reveal its secrets. It wasn't until 1929, when a group of historians was cataloging the treasures of the palace, that this remarkable artifact came to light. Known as the Piri Reis map, it was a map unlike any other, filled with mysteries that would baffle scholars and ignite imaginations. Piri Reis, an Ottoman admiral and cartographer, created the map in 1513. Drawn on a piece of gazelle-skin parchment, it depicted parts of Europe, Africa, and the Americas with astounding accuracy. The map's detail was extraordinary, especially considering it was created over 500 years ago. But what truly set it apart were the anomalies, features that seemed impossible for someone of that era to have known. The origins of the Piri Reis map can be traced back to a compilation of sources, including ancient maps and charts that Reis had collected during his voyages and conquests. He meticulously pieced together these fragments, creating a comprehensive map that he proudly signed with a detailed inscription. This inscription not only highlighted his sources, but also expressed his admiration for the cartographers who had come before him. However, it was the map's contents that left historians and cartographers scratching their heads. One of the most striking aspects of the map is its depiction of the coastline of South America and the northern coast of Antarctica, long before these regions were officially discovered. The accuracy with which these coastlines were drawn defied the knowledge of the 16th century. For instance, the Piri Reis map shows the coast of Queen Maud Land in Antarctica free of ice, a condition that hasn't existed for at least 6,000 years. How could Piri Reis have known this? Was it possible that he had access to ancient sources lost to history, or was there another explanation? The anomalies didn't stop there. The map also depicted features of the South American coastline with an accuracy that wouldn't be achieved by European cartographers for another 2 centuries. Rivers, mountain ranges, and even specific geographical details were rendered with a precision that seemed almost supernatural. These elements led some to speculate that Pyre Reis had access to ancient knowledge passed down from civilizations long forgotten. As researchers pored over the map, they noticed other peculiarities. For instance, the map seemed to account for the curvature of the Earth, a concept that wasn't widely accepted at the time. The longitudinal and latitudinal lines were drawn with a precision that suggested an understanding of spherical trigonometry. This level of sophistication raised more questions about the sources Pyre Reis had used and the extent of ancient geographical knowledge. The unanswered questions surrounding the Pyre Reis map sparked numerous theories, each more fascinating than the last. Some suggested that the map was based on knowledge from a lost civilization, perhaps one that existed before recorded history. Others posited that it might have been influenced by ancient sea kings or explorers whose achievements were never documented. The idea that ancient mariners had traversed the globe long before Columbus or Magellan captivated the public's imagination. Despite the myriad theories, the true origin of the map's detailed and accurate features remains a mystery. Modern scientists have tried to recreate the conditions and methods Pyre Reis might have used, but none have been able to fully explain how he could have achieved such precision. The enigma of the Pyre Reis map endures, a tantalizing glimpse into a past that defies our understanding of history. The Pyre Reis map also raises intriguing questions about the transmission of knowledge across cultures and eras. How did Pyre Reis, an admiral in the Ottoman Empire, come to possess such detailed information about distant lands? What were the sources he mentioned in his inscriptions, and where did they originate? The map suggests a level of interconnectedness and information exchange that challenges our conventional views of history. The map's preservation and the fact that it survived through the centuries to be discovered in the 20th century is a story in itself. It speaks to the value placed on knowledge and exploration by those who safeguarded it. The rediscovery of the map has inspired countless expeditions, research projects, and even debates about ancient seafaring capabilities and the possibility of prehistoric global exploration. As we continue to study the Pyre Reis map, it serves as a reminder of the enduring mysteries of our past. It is a testament to human curiosity, ingenuity, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. The map's intricacies and unanswered questions invite us to look beyond the accepted narratives and consider the vast expanse of human history that remains unexplored. Each line and contour on the parchment tells a story, whispering secrets of ancient mariners and lost civilizations, urging us to seek out the unknown and embrace the wonder of discovery. The Pyre Reis map, with its enigmatic origins and unexplained accuracies, stands as a symbol of the mysteries that still lie hidden within our history. It challenges us to keep questioning, to keep searching, and to remain ever curious about the world and its past. In the heart of Istanbul, amidst the relics of a bygone era, this ancient map continues to captivate and inspire, a timeless artifact that beckons us to ponder the true extent of human knowledge and exploration. The scorching desert sun beat down on the vast, arid plains of southern Peru. In 1927, a Peruvian archaeologist named Toribio Mejia Zesp stood on a ridge, gazing at the landscape below. He was surveying the area when he noticed something extraordinary etched into the dry, cracked earth, massive lines and shapes that stretched for miles. What he had stumbled upon was the beginning of one of the greatest archaeological mysteries of all time, the Nazca Lines. From the ground, the lines seemed like mere scratches on the surface of the desert. But as Zesp continued his work and shared his discovery, it became clear that these were no ordinary markings. It wasn't until the 1930s, when American explorer Paul Kosok flew over the area, that the full magnitude of the Nazca Lines was revealed. From the air, the lines formed gigantic geometric patterns and intricate figures, animals, plants, and imaginary beings, spread out over nearly 200 square miles. The shapes were so large that they could only be fully appreciated from high above, as if meant to be seen by the gods themselves. The discovery of the Nazca Lines opened a floodgate of questions. Who had created these colossal designs, and why? The lines were believed to have been made by the Nazca people, who flourished in the region from around 200 BCE to 600 CE. Using simple tools and a deep understanding of the landscape, they removed the reddish-brown iron oxide-coated pebbles that covered the surface of the Nazca Desert, exposing the lighter-colored earth beneath. But the purpose behind these creations remained an enigma. The interpretations of the Nazca lines are as varied as they are fascinating. Some researchers suggested they were astronomical calendars, with the lines aligning to the positions of celestial bodies. This theory posited that the Nazca people used the lines to mark important dates and events, such as solstices and equinoxes. As the sun set or rose, it would align perfectly with certain lines, guiding the Nazca in their agricultural practices and ceremonial activities. Others believed the lines had a more spiritual or religious significance. The Nazca civilization was deeply connected to the natural world and its deities. The animals depicted in the lines, such as the monkey, spider, and hummingbird, might have represented sacred creatures or mythological figures. The sheer effort required to create these designs suggested they held great importance to the people who made them, perhaps as offerings to the gods to ensure fertility, rain, and protection. There were also those who thought the lines could be part of elaborate rituals involving water. The Nazca region is one of the driest places on Earth, and the people would have been acutely aware of their dependence on water. Some scholars theorized that the lines were a part of ceremonial pathways, with the designs serving as large-scale representations of their prayers and hopes for rain. The shapes of some lines even resembled underground water sources, hinting at a possible connection to ancient hydrological knowledge. Theories about the creators of the Nazca lines also included more unconventional ideas. In the 1960s, Swiss author Erich von Däniken proposed that the lines were created by extraterrestrial beings, serving as runways for their spacecraft. This theory captured the public imagination and added an otherworldly aura to the Nazca lines, though it was met with skepticism from the scientific community. Yet, it highlighted the profound mystery and allure of these ancient markings, inviting people to ponder the possibilities beyond our known history. As the years passed, more lines and figures were discovered, each adding to the complexity and beauty of the Nazca lines. Advances in technology allowed for more detailed surveys and studies, revealing subtleties in the designs that were previously unnoticed. Some lines appear to be three-dimensional when viewed from certain angles, suggesting a sophisticated understanding of perspective by the Nazca artists. Despite the various interpretations and theories, the true purpose of the Nazca lines remains elusive. They stand as silent witnesses to a civilization long gone, their meanings obscured by the passage of time. The arid climate of the Nazca Desert has preserved them for centuries, allowing us a glimpse into the minds and hearts of the ancient Nazca people. The story of the Nazca lines is not just about the lines themselves, but also about the landscape that hosts them. The stark, desolate beauty of the desert contrasts with the intricate, purposeful lines etched into its surface. Walking among the lines, one can't help but feel a connection to the ancient people who painstakingly created them. Every step along the dusty paths is a step back in time, where the boundary between the present and the past blurs, and the mysteries of the Nazca lines continue to inspire awe and wonder. On the Salisbury Plain, shrouded in the mists of early morning, stands one of humanity's most enigmatic monuments, Stonehenge. Massive stones, some weighing over 25 tons, are arranged in a circle, casting long shadows as the sun rises. The sight is both awe-inspiring and mysterious, drawing visitors from around the world who come to marvel at the ancient structure and ponder its secrets. The construction of Stonehenge is a tale of monumental effort and ingenuity. It began around 5,000 years ago, during the Neolithic period, and was completed over several phases spanning more than 1,000 years. The first phase involved a circular earthwork enclosure with a ditch and bank. Then, around 2500 BCE, the iconic stones were erected. The largest stones, known as sarsens, were transported from the Marlborough Downs, 20 miles away. The smaller bluestones came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, an astonishing 150 miles distant. How these stones, some weighing as much as 4 tons, were moved remains one of Stonehenge's greatest mysteries. Imagine the scene: hundreds of people, perhaps entire communities, working together. They used ropes, wooden sledges, and rollers, hauling these massive stones across rolling hills and rivers. The effort required immense coordination and a deep understanding of engineering principles. The stones were carefully shaped and fitted together with precision, forming a series of concentric circles and horseshoe arrangements. Each stone was aligned with remarkable accuracy, suggesting a purpose that went beyond mere construction. The purpose of Stonehenge has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries. One prevailing theory is that it served as a celestial observatory. The alignment of the stones with the movements of the sun and moon indicates that the builders had a sophisticated knowledge of astronomy. On the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, the sun rises directly above the heel stone, casting a beam of light into the heart of the circle. This alignment suggests that Stonehenge was used to mark the passage of time, tracking the seasons and possibly serving as a calendar. Yet, the astronomical theory is just one piece of the puzzle. Stonehenge might also have been a place of spiritual and religious significance. The effort and resources required to build it imply that it held great importance for the people who constructed it. Some believe it was a temple for ancient earth deities, a sacred site where rituals and ceremonies were performed. The stones themselves, with their imposing presence, seem to command reverence and awe, hinting at a spiritual purpose. The site has also been linked to healing. Archaeologists have discovered evidence of burials around Stonehenge, with some remains showing signs of illness or injury. This has led to the theory that Stonehenge was a place of pilgrimage where people came to seek healing from the powers they believed resided within the stones. The blue stones, in particular, were thought to possess healing properties, adding another layer of mystique to their transportation from Wales. Despite these theories, many questions about Stonehenge remain unanswered. How did Neolithic people, with their limited technology, achieve such precision in construction? What methods did they use to transport and erect the stones? And why did they go to such lengths to build this monument? Each discovery at Stonehenge seems to raise more questions than it answers, adding to the enigma of this ancient site. Theories about Stonehenge's creators also abound. Some suggest that it was built by the Druids, ancient Celtic priests, though this theory has largely been discredited since Stonehenge predates the Druids by several centuries. Others propose that it was the work of a lost civilization with advanced knowledge, hinting at connections to myths of Atlantis or other mysterious cultures. Walking among the stones, one can almost hear the whispers of the past. The air feels charged with history, each stone a silent witness to the passage of millennia. The sense of mystery is palpable, as if the stones themselves guard the secrets of their creation and purpose. The allure of Stonehenge lies not just in its physical presence, but in the stories it has inspired and the questions it continues to pose. Even modern technology has struggled to fully unravel the mysteries of Stonehenge. Ground-penetrating radar and other advanced tools have revealed hidden features and artifacts, but the full picture remains elusive. Each discovery adds a new piece to the puzzle, but the complete story of Stonehenge is still beyond our grasp. The site stands as a testament to the ingenuity and determination of our ancestors, a monument that challenges us to look beyond the surface and seek the deeper truths of our history. The allure of Stonehenge endures, captivating the imagination of all who encounter it. It is a place where history and legend intertwine, where the past reaches out to the present with a sense of wonder and mystery. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over the ancient stones, one cannot help but feel a connection to those who came before, leaving their mark on the landscape and in the annals of human history. Stonehenge stands as a timeless enigma, inviting us to ponder its mysteries and marvel at the ingenuity of those who built it. The blazing sun cast long shadows across the desert sands, where the towering Great Pyramids of Giza stood like sentinels of an ancient world. These colossal structures, built over 4,500 years ago, have inspired awe and wonder through the ages. The sheer scale and precision of the pyramids invite us to ponder how such feats were accomplished by a civilization without the technology we take for granted today. The construction of the Great Pyramids, particularly the Great Pyramid of Khufu, often referred to as the Pyramid of Cheops, remains one of the most impressive achievements in human history. Standing at an original height of 481 feet, it was the tallest man-made structure in the world for over 3,800 years. The pyramid was constructed using approximately 2.3 million blocks of limestone and granite, each weighing between 2.5 to 15 tons. Imagine the scene: thousands of workers laboring under the scorching Egyptian sun, each stone meticulously cut and hauled into place. They used copper tools to chisel the blocks from quarries, then transported them across the Nile River during the inundation season when the river's floodwaters made the journey possible. The blocks were dragged on sledges lubricated with water to reduce friction, then raised into place using a combination of ramps and levers. The precision with which the pyramids were built is staggering. The base of the Great Pyramid is nearly perfectly level, with a deviation of just a fraction of an inch over its 13-acre footprint. The alignment of the pyramid is equally astonishing, with its sides closely aligned to the cardinal points of the compass: north, south, east, and west. This alignment suggests an advanced understanding of astronomy and mathematics. As remarkable as the construction techniques are, the mysteries surrounding the purpose of the Great Pyramids are equally compelling. Traditionally, the pyramids are believed to be tombs for the pharaohs, built to ensure their safe passage to the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians held a profound belief in life after death, and the pyramids were designed to house the bodies of the pharaohs and the treasures they would need in the next world. But this explanation leaves many questions unanswered. Inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu, no mummy or significant treasures have ever been found. The inner chambers and passageways are starkly empty, leading some to speculate about alternative purposes. Were these structures really intended as tombs, or did they serve a different, perhaps more enigmatic function? One of the most intriguing theories suggests that the pyramids were not merely tombs, but part of a grander design, possibly linked to the stars. The layout of the pyramids on the Giza Plateau mirrors the alignment of the three stars in Orion's belt. This celestial correlation might indicate that the pyramids were constructed as part of a cosmic plan, perhaps serving as a conduit between the earthly and the divine. Another theory posits that the pyramids were used as giant energy machines. Some researchers propose that the specific materials and the geometric shapes of the pyramids could have created a form of energy harnessed by the ancient Egyptians. This idea, while speculative, adds to the aura of mystery that surrounds these ancient wonders. The Great Pyramids also raise questions about the knowledge and capabilities of the ancient builders. How did they achieve such a high degree of precision without modern tools? What methods did they use to transport and lift the massive stones? Even with our current technology, replicating such a feat would be incredibly challenging. The ingenuity and skill of the ancient Egyptians continue to baffle and inspire. Exploring the internal structure of the Great Pyramid reveals further enigmas. The Grand Gallery, a steep, narrow passage leading to the King's Chamber, is lined with perfectly fitted stones. The King's Chamber itself is constructed from enormous granite blocks transported from Aswan, over 500 miles away. Above the King's Chamber are a series of relieving chambers designed to distribute the weight of the stone above, showcasing an advanced understanding of engineering. The empty sarcophagus in the King's Chamber adds to the mystery. If the pyramid was indeed a tomb, why was it found empty? And why are there no inscriptions or decorations within the pyramid, unlike other tombs of the era? These unanswered questions fuel speculation and intrigue, drawing us deeper into the mystery of the pyramid's true purpose. The Sphinx, the enigmatic guardian of the pyramids, adds another layer to the mystery. Carved from a single piece of limestone, the Sphinx stands with the body of a lion and the head of a pharaoh. Its exact age and purpose remain subjects of debate, with some theories suggesting it predates the pyramids and might be linked to an even older, forgotten civilization. As we stand before the Great Pyramids, we are reminded of the incredible achievements of our ancestors. These monuments are not just remnants of a bygone era, they are testaments to human ingenuity, ambition, and the eternal quest to understand the mysteries of life and death. The Great Pyramids of Giza continue to captivate our imagination, inviting us to explore the secrets they guard so closely. Under the vast sky of the Pacific Ocean lies Easter Island, a remote speck of land where the majestic Moai statues stand as silent sentinels. These colossal stone figures, with their elongated faces and stern expressions, evoke a sense of awe and mystery. How did the island's inhabitants, known as the Rapa Nui, create and transport these massive statues, and what purpose did they serve? The story of the Moai is one of ingenuity, cultural richness, and enduring enigma. Centuries ago, the Rapa Nui people carved the Moai from volcanic tuff, a type of rock found on the island. The statues, some towering over 30 feet and weighing up to 75 tons, were chiseled with simple stone tools. The process was laborious and required incredible skill. Imagine the artisans, day after day, chipping away at the rock, their hands calloused and muscles straining as the statues gradually took shape. Each Moai was unique, with distinct facial features and expressions that hinted at the individuality of those they represented. Once a Moai was completed, it had to be transported to its intended location on the island, often several miles away from the quarry. This is where the true mystery begins. How did a society without advanced technology move such massive stones? Various theories have been proposed over the years. Some suggest that the statues were laid on wooden sledges and dragged along by teams of people. Others believe that they were rolled on logs. Yet another theory posits that the statues were walked to their locations, rocked back and forth in a manner reminiscent of moving a refrigerator, using ropes and human strength. Picture the scene, a line of Rapa Nui men and women, chanting in unison as they heaved and maneuvered the immense statues across the rugged terrain. The ground trembled under the weight of the Moai, and the air was thick with determination and sweat. The journey would have taken days, perhaps even weeks, with each successful step forward a testament to their ingenuity and perseverance. The sight of these statues, finally erected on their stone platforms, or ahu, must have filled the Rapa Nui with immense pride and reverence. But why did they go to such lengths to create and transport these statues? The Moai are believed to represent deified ancestors, embodying the spirits of important leaders and chiefs. Erecting a Moai was an act of honor and respect, meant to ensure the protection and prosperity of the community. The statues were positioned to face inland, watching over the villages and their inhabitants, connecting the people to their ancestors and the divine. Despite these insights, many questions about the Moai remain unanswered. One of the most perplexing enigmas is the sudden halt in their creation and transportation. Around the late 1600s, the Rapa Nui ceased to erect new statues and toppled many of the existing ones. Some researchers attribute this to environmental degradation caused by deforestation, which led to societal collapse and internal conflict. Others suggest that the arrival of European explorers brought diseases and disruptions that decimated the population and destabilized their culture. The fall of the Moai era left a profound impact on the island's cultural and historical landscape. The once thriving society that built these magnificent statues faced a period of decline and transformation. Today, the toppled and partially buried Moai serve as poignant reminders of a lost era, whispering stories of past grandeur and mystery. Adding to the enigma is the question of the island's original settlers. How did the Polynesians, skilled navigators and seafarers, discover and settle on this isolated island? Their journey across thousands of miles of open ocean, guided by stars and currents, is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. The Rapa Nui's ability to not only survive but thrive in such isolation, creating a complex society capable of monumental achievements, is a story of extraordinary human spirit. Exploring the island today, one can feel the presence of the ancient Rapa Nui. The Moai, with their stoic faces and imposing presence, seem to gaze into the soul, evoking a sense of connection to the past. The island's lush green hills and volcanic craters provide a stunning backdrop to these stone giants, each standing as a testament to the Rapa Nui's artistry, engineering prowess, and spiritual depth. Even in the modern age, the Moai continue to inspire awe and curiosity. Archaeologists and historians strive to piece together the story of these enigmatic statues, using advanced technology and research methods to uncover their secrets. Yet, despite these efforts, the full story of the Moai remains elusive, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The legacy of the Moai is not just in their physical presence, but in the cultural heritage they represent. The Rapa Nui people, descendants of the original inhabitants, continue to honor their ancestors and preserve their traditions. The story of the Moai is a living history, woven into the fabric of the island's culture and identity. Standing before a Moai, one cannot help but feel a sense of wonder and humility. These statues, carved with such care and devotion, embody the spirit of a people who, despite immense challenges, left an indelible mark on the world. The Moai are more than just stone figures, they are symbols of human creativity, resilience, and the enduring mystery of our past. Beneath the rolling hills of southeastern Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, a site that has shattered long-held beliefs about early human civilization. Imagine stumbling upon a place that predates Stonehenge and the pyramids by several millennia, a place that forces us to rethink the origins of human society. That's exactly what happened in the 1990s when archaeologist Klaus Schmidt and his team unearthed this ancient wonder. Göbekli Tepe isn't just a collection of stones. It is an architectural marvel with its massive T-shaped pillars arranged in circles. These pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons and standing 18 feet tall, are intricately carved with images of animals, abstract symbols, and human-like figures. As Schmidt and his team uncovered these structures, they realized they had found something truly extraordinary. The first pillar they uncovered seemed to emerge from the ground like a forgotten sentinel. As the soil was carefully brushed away, more pillars came into view, each revealing intricate carvings of animals, lions, vultures, and serpents. The level of detail and artistry was astonishing. These were not simple carvings, they were masterful works of art that hinted at a sophisticated culture capable of great creativity and technical skill. How did people living over 11,000 years ago, who hadn't yet discovered the wheel or domesticated animals, manage to construct such a site? This question haunts historians and archaeologists. The effort required to quarry, transport, and erect these enormous stones suggests a highly organized society with advanced knowledge and resources far beyond what we imagined for that time. As they uncovered more of the site, a pattern emerged: concentric circles of pillars, each circle more astonishing than the last. The pillars seemed to be arranged with a purpose, perhaps astronomical or ceremonial. Standing in the middle of one of these circles, you could feel the weight of history pressing in, as if the stones themselves were whispering secrets of a bygone era. Göbekli Tepe wasn't a place where people lived. There were no signs of daily life, no hearths, no homes. This was a place set apart, likely for rituals or gatherings. But what kind of rituals? The carvings of dangerous animals might suggest that the builders revered or feared these creatures, perhaps seeing them as guardians or totems. The lack of any residential remains indicates that this was a site of great spiritual or communal significance, where people came together for reasons we can only speculate about. The sheer effort to build Göbekli Tepe implies that its creators had some form of social hierarchy and a means to organize and feed a large workforce. This challenges the traditional view that complex societies only emerged with the advent of agriculture. Göbekli Tepe suggests that the urge to come together for spiritual or communal purposes might have spurred the development of more structured, complex societies. The mysteries of Göbekli Tepe don't end with its construction. The site was deliberately buried around 8000 BCE, for reasons that remain unclear. Why would a society invest so much effort into creating such a monumental site only to bury it? This act of intentional burial raises questions about the beliefs and circumstances of the people who built it. Were they trying to preserve the site for future generations, or were they hiding it from something or someone? The enigmatic builders of Göbekli Tepe left no written records, only these stone structures and carvings. The absence of any signs of a written language or other forms of communication makes it challenging to understand their world. The carvings on the pillars are our only window into their minds, offering tantalizing hints but no definitive answers. Göbekli Tepe forces us to reconsider what we thought we knew about early human societies. It suggests that the drive to come together for shared purposes, whether spiritual, communal, or both, might be a fundamental aspect of human nature. This ancient site, standing silent and buried for millennia, speaks to the human desire to connect, to create, and to leave a mark on the world. Standing among the pillars of Göbekli Tepe, it's easy to feel a sense of awe and wonder. These stones, carved and erected with immense effort, have withstood the test of time, bearing silent witness to the lives and beliefs of a long-lost civilization. The mystery of who built Göbekli Tepe and why continues to captivate us, drawing us back to the site again and again in search of answers. Each discovery at Göbekli Tepe raises new questions, inviting us to look deeper into the past and into ourselves. What drove these ancient people to create such a place? What did they see when they looked up at the stars, and what did they hope to achieve with their monumental efforts? The stones of Göbekli Tepe, with their intricate carvings and imposing presence, stand as a testament to the enduring mystery and ingenuity of human beings. The story of Göbekli Tepe is far from complete. As archaeologists continue to excavate and study the site, we inch closer to understanding the minds and hearts of its builders. For now, we can only marvel at their achievement, feel the goosebumps rise on our skin as we walk among the ancient stones, and wonder about the lives of the people who once gathered there, under the same sky we gaze upon today. In the ancient land of Sumer, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers cradled early civilization, there emerged tales of powerful beings who came from the heavens. These were the Anunnaki, deities whose stories intertwined with the very fabric of creation and human destiny. Their names echoed through the temples of Ur, Nippur, and Eridu, leaving an indelible mark on the mythologies that followed. The Anunnaki, often depicted as imposing figures, were believed to be the offspring of Anu, the sky god, and Ki, the earth goddess. They descended to Earth with a purpose that has fascinated and mystified scholars and enthusiasts alike. These deities were more than mere gods. They were architects of human civilization, bestowing knowledge and technology upon mankind. According to Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki played a crucial role in the creation of humanity. In the epic tale of Atrahasis, the gods were burdened with labor, digging canals, and cultivating fields. In their exhaustion, they rebelled, demanding relief from their toil. In response, the higher gods, led by Enki, the god of wisdom, and Ninhursag, the mother goddess, created humans from clay and the blood of a slain god. Humans were designed to bear the burdens of work, allowing the gods to rest. One of the most captivating aspects of the Anunnaki mythos is their supposed influence on human advancement. Legends speak of these deities imparting essential skills and knowledge, from agriculture to metallurgy. Enki, in particular, was revered as a benefactor, teaching humans the arts and sciences necessary for survival and prosperity. His wisdom was said to flow like the waters of the Euphrates, nourishing the minds and souls of those who listened. As stories of the Anunnaki spread, their influence extended beyond Sumer, weaving into the mythologies of neighboring cultures. In Akkadian and Babylonian lore, they became part of a larger pantheon, their legends evolving but their enigmatic nature remaining intact. The Anunnaki were not merely gods of the past, they were seen as eternal beings, watching over the world and guiding humanity. In modern times, the Anunnaki have captured the imagination of theorists and writers who seek to explain the mysteries of ancient civilizations. One of the most provocative theories was popularized by Zecharia Sitchin, a journalist and author who proposed that the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial beings. Sitchin's interpretation, based on his readings of ancient Sumerian texts, suggested that these gods were, in fact, astronauts from a distant planet called Nibiru. Sitchin's theory posits that the Anunnaki came to Earth in search of gold, a precious resource needed to sustain their home planet's atmosphere. They established mining operations and, to ease their labor, engineered humans as a slave race to extract the gold. This narrative, though controversial and widely debated, has fueled a wave of interest and speculation about the true origins of human civilization. The idea of ancient astronauts has permeated popular culture, inspiring books, television shows, and even movies. It evokes a sense of wonder and possibility, prompting us to question our understanding of history and our place in the universe. The thought that advanced beings from another world might have guided our ancestors is both thrilling and unsettling, challenging the boundaries between myth and reality. While Sitchin's theories are not universally accepted and have faced significant criticism from scholars, they have undeniably left an impact on how we perceive the Anunnaki. These ancient deities, once confined to the realm of mythology, have become symbols of a larger quest for knowledge and truth. They embody the human desire to seek answers to the profound questions of our origins and destiny. Standing beneath the stars, one can't help but feel a connection to those early Sumerians who looked up at the same sky and wove stories of gods descending from the heavens. The Anunnaki, whether seen as divine creators or celestial visitors, continue to captivate our imagination. Their legacy endures, a testament to the enduring power of myth and the boundless curiosity that drives us to explore the unknown. In the shadow of ancient ziggurats and the ruins of forgotten cities, the whispers of the Anunnaki linger. Their tales remind us of a time when gods walked among men, shaping the course of history with their wisdom and power. As we uncover more about our past, the mysteries of the Anunnaki remain a beacon, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the cosmos. Beneath the veil of ancient scriptures and long-forgotten tales, there exists a shadowy figure known as the Nephilim. The mere mention of their name evokes a sense of wonder and mystery that has lingered for centuries, drawing curious minds into the depths of biblical lore. The story of the Nephilim begins in the book of Genesis, where they are briefly mentioned in a passage that has puzzled theologians and scholars for ages. It said that the sons of God came down to earth and took human wives, and their offspring were the Nephilim. These beings were described as giants, mighty men of renown, whose very presence seemed to blend the divine and the mortal into something both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The Bible's sparse description of the Nephilim leaves much to the imagination. What were these giants like? How did their existence affect the world they inhabited? Ancient texts offer tantalizing but incomplete glimpses into their nature. Some translations of the Bible suggest they were fallen angels, while others hint at a race of giants whose very size and power made them legends among men. The enigma of the Nephilim extends far beyond their biblical origins. For centuries, religious scholars and mystics have pondered their true nature. Were they simply the offspring of divine beings and humans, or was there something more to their existence? Some suggest that the Nephilim were the result of an unholy union that led to their downfall and the eventual deluge that wiped out their kind. Their very name, meaning fallen ones in Hebrew, hints at a tragic fate. As whispers of the Nephilim traveled through history, so did a variety of theories about their true identity. In some circles, they are thought to be extraterrestrial visitors whose presence on Earth influenced ancient cultures in ways we can only partially comprehend. The notion that these giants might have been beings from the stars, blending divine and alien qualities, stirs the imagination and sparks countless stories of ancient astronauts and cosmic visitors. The Nephilim also occupy a space in the folklore and myths of many cultures. Stories of giants or mighty beings with divine or supernatural origins appear across different civilizations. Some believe that the legends of the Nephilim might have influenced or been influenced by these other myths, suggesting a shared archetype of powerful, otherworldly figures that transcended cultural boundaries. Among the most captivating aspects of the Nephilim story is their connection to the ancient flood. In the Bible, the Great Flood was sent by God to cleanse the earth of its wickedness, and the Nephilim were mentioned in this context as having been present before and possibly contributing to the corruption that led to the flood. This connection paints a picture of beings whose existence was so significant that it played a role in one of the most pivotal events in biblical history. In modern times, the Nephilim have become symbols of the unknown and the forbidden. Their story has been embraced by various fringe theories and speculative fiction, fueling narratives that blend ancient texts with contemporary imagination. These tales often depict the Nephilim as powerful beings whose legacy lives on, influencing our world in ways we can scarcely understand. Standing at the crossroads of myth and reality, the story of the Nephilim tugs at the strings of our curiosity and awe. Their legend reminds us of a time when the boundary between the divine and the mortal was thin, and the presence of beings that were part God, part human could reshape the world in unimaginable ways. The fascination with the Nephilim endures because they represent something profoundly mysterious and deeply human. They are a reminder of our quest to understand the divine and the unknown, to seek answers to questions that have haunted us for millennia. Their story, while fragmented and elusive, continues to captivate our imagination, challenging us to ponder the boundaries of reality and myth. As we reflect on the tales of the Nephilim, we are drawn into a world where giants walked among us, where the divine mingled with the earthly, and where the echoes of their existence still resonate in the shadows of our collective memory. Their legend, shrouded in mystery and enigma, continues to inspire wonder and intrigue, reminding us of the timeless allure of the unknown. In the heart of the Arabian desert, where the winds whisper ancient secrets across the sands, there lies a world shrouded in both mystery and enchantment. This world is home to the jinn, supernatural beings whose origins stretched back to the dawn of human storytelling. Their presence in Arabian mythology is as vivid as the desert sunset, blending wonder with a touch of fear. The tale of the jinn begins in the dimly lit corners of ancient folklore. These beings are said to have been created from smokeless fire, a substance that dances and shifts like the desert flames but is neither solid nor liquid. Unlike the ethereal beings of other mythologies, jinn are neither wholly good nor evil. They exist in a complex spectrum, embodying both human-like traits and celestial power. Their stories are woven into the fabric of the ancient Arabian world, where they lived in parallel with humans, unseen but ever-present. Legends tell of jinn inhabiting desolate ruins, remote valleys, and hidden caves. They are said to possess the power to shapeshift, to vanish into thin air, and to grant wishes, but these gifts often come with a price, a reminder of their unpredictable nature. One of the most captivating aspects of the jinn is their ability to blend seamlessly into the human world. They are not always the malevolent spirits that some tales suggest. Many stories paint them as tricksters with a sense of humor, or as helpful entities bound by certain rules. Their actions, whether benevolent or mischievous, reflect the complexities of human nature itself. Just as humans can be kind or cruel, so too can the jinn, making them both fascinating and enigmatic. The cultural impact of the jinn is profound and far-reaching. They appear in countless tales from the 1001 Nights, known in the West as the Arabian Nights, where they enchant and terrorize with equal measure. The story of Aladdin and his magical lamp, for instance, is a tale of a jinn whose power is harnessed by a young man to change his fate. This narrative has captivated audiences for generations, sparking a myriad of adaptations and interpretations. Yet, despite their prominent place in folklore, many mysteries surround the jinn. Scholars have long debated their origins and nature, struggling to piece together the fragments of ancient texts and oral traditions. Some believe that the jinn are rooted in pre-Islamic Arabian religion, while others argue that their story evolved over time, influenced by various cultures and beliefs. The unanswered questions about the jinn's true nature add to their allure. Are they ancient spirits of the natural world, or are they reflections of our deepest fears and desires? Do they exist beyond the realms of our understanding, or are they mere symbols of the unknown? These questions linger, adding layers of complexity to their already rich mythology. The stories of the jinn have transcended their Arabian origins, influencing cultures far beyond the desert sands. In various parts of the world, they appear in different forms and under different names, but their essence remains the same: powerful, elusive, and profoundly mysterious. They have inspired countless works of literature, art, and film, becoming icons of the supernatural and the unexplained. As the sun sets over the Arabian desert, casting long shadows across the dunes, the world of the jinn seems to come alive with possibilities. Their legends, passed down through generations, continue to enchant and intrigue, drawing us into a world where the boundaries between the known and the unknown blur. They remind us of the mysteries that lie just beyond our perception, of the magic that exists in the unseen, and of the timeless allure of the supernatural. The jinn, with their origins steeped in ancient myth and their influence felt across cultures and ages, remain a symbol of the mysteries that continue to captivate our imaginations. Their stories, rich with wonder and a touch of fear, offer a glimpse into a world where the line between reality and the supernatural is both thin and tantalizingly elusive. In a dimly lit room, amidst stacks of dusty books and yellowed manuscripts, lies a volume that has puzzled scholars and mystics alike for centuries. This book is not just any ancient manuscript, it is the Voynich manuscript, a tome so enigmatic that it seems almost to defy the passage of time. The story of the Voynich manuscript begins in the early 20th century when a rare book dealer named Wilfred Voynich stumbled upon it in a box of old books. It was a beautifully bound volume, its pages filled with strange and intricate drawings and an unknown script that no one could decipher. Voynich, intrigued and fascinated, took the manuscript home, little knowing that it would soon become one of the most famous mysteries in the world of cryptography and ancient texts. The manuscript itself is a masterpiece of craftsmanship. Its pages are adorned with detailed illustrations of plants that do not resemble any known species, fantastical diagrams, and elaborate scenes of what appear to be ancient rituals. Some pages depict women bathing in mysterious green liquids, surrounded by what might be medicinal herbs or fantastical plants. Others show star maps and complex astrological charts. The script, an elegant flow of symbols that resemble no known language, only adds to the mystery. Scholars and cryptographers from around the world have tried to crack the code of the Voynich manuscript. They have employed every possible method, from statistical analysis to computer algorithms, but the manuscript's language remains untranslatable. Its script and illustrations have spawned countless theories, each more speculative than the last. Some suggest that it is a clever hoax, created to baffle and amuse. Others believe it holds the key to ancient knowledge or hidden secrets. Theories about the origins and purpose of the Voynich manuscript are as varied as its illustrations. One popular theory is that it was created in the early 15th century by an unknown author who was attempting to compile knowledge about herbal medicine and alchemy. This theory is supported by the manuscript's detailed illustrations of plants and medicinal recipes. But why would such a knowledgeable scholar use an unrecognizable script? The mystery deepens. Another theory suggests that the manuscript is a medieval ciphertext, perhaps the work of a cryptographer who sought to encode their knowledge in a way that only a select few could understand. This theory posits that the manuscript's seemingly nonsensical text might actually contain a hidden message, waiting to be decoded. The complexity of the script and the use of obscure symbols might indicate that it was designed to be impenetrable to all but the most skilled cryptographers of its time. Some researchers have even proposed that the Voynich manuscript is a product of extraterrestrial or occult origins, suggesting that its strange illustrations and unknown script are evidence of contact with otherworldly beings or ancient secret societies. This theory, though far-fetched, captures the imagination and reflects the manuscript's ability to evoke wonder and speculation. The mystery surrounding the Voynich manuscript has inspired a multitude of attempts to decipher it. From famous codebreakers to amateur enthusiasts, many have tried their hand at cracking its code. Despite their efforts, the manuscript remains a tantalizing enigma. The unyielding nature of its script, combined with the ambiguous meaning of its illustrations, continues to elude even the most determined investigators. The allure of the Voynich manuscript lies not only in its content, but in the questions it raises about human knowledge and the limits of our understanding. What secrets does it hold? Was it meant to be understood by someone, or is it simply a beautiful puzzle with no solution? The manuscript's very existence challenges our perceptions of history and knowledge, inviting us to ponder the mysteries that lie beyond our grasp. As the years go by, the Voynich manuscript endures as a symbol of the unknown. It stands as a testament to human curiosity and the endless quest for answers. The book, with its enigmatic illustrations and cryptic text, continues to capture the imagination of those who seek to unlock its mysteries, reminding us of the wonder that lies in the pursuit of the unknown. The Voynich manuscript, with its intricate drawings and undeciphered text, is more than just an ancient book, it is a gateway to the unexplained. Its story is a reflection of our collective desire to uncover the secrets that lie hidden in the shadows of history. In its pages, we find a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the unknown, and a glimpse into the boundless possibilities of what might still be waiting to be discovered. In the dimly lit depths of an ancient monastery, there rests a tome of such enormous scale and enigma that it has captured the imagination of historians and scholars for centuries. This book is the Codex Gigas, a manuscript so immense and mysterious that it seems to have been crafted by hands guided by otherworldly forces. The story of the Codex Gigas begins in the early 13th century within the walls of the Benedictine monastery in Podlasis, Bohemia, now part of the Czech Republic. Crafted on a monumental scale, it measures nearly 3 feet tall and weighs around 165 pounds, so massive that only a few could handle it with ease. It is said to be the work of a solitary monk who, in a desperate bid for redemption, undertook the task of writing this colossal manuscript in a single night. Legend has it that this monk, facing the death penalty for breaking his monastic vows, made a pact with the devil. He promised to sell his soul in exchange for the completion of the Codex Gigas, hoping to save himself from his dire fate. By morning, the manuscript was complete, its pages filled with the full Bible, historical texts, and a mysterious, terrifying illustration of the devil himself. The Codex Gigas, often called the Devil's Bible, is renowned not just for its sheer size, but for its striking imagery. Among its pages lies an elaborate, full-page illustration of the devil, depicted with a terrifying grin and a monstrous visage. This depiction has fueled legends and fears, cementing the manuscript's reputation as a dark and supernatural artifact. The devil's image, with its grotesque and chilling portrayal, stands as a stark contrast to the religious texts that fill the majority of the book. What makes the Codex Gigas even more captivating is the uncertainty surrounding its creation. Some believe that it was produced by a single scribe, whose skill and dedication could explain its extraordinary quality and detail. Others argue that the sheer volume of work required to produce such a manuscript suggests a team of scribes working in secrecy. The mystery of its authorship and creation only adds to the manuscript's allure. Historians have long debated the purpose and origin of the Codex Gigas. Was it truly a product of a desperate monk's pact with the devil, or is this merely a tale spun to explain its eerie features and colossal size? The true purpose of the manuscript remains unknown. It contains not only the Bible but also historical chronicles, medical texts, and other documents that seem unrelated. The diversity of its contents hints at a broad purpose, perhaps a comprehensive repository of knowledge meant to impress and intimidate. Adding to the manuscript's mystique is the mystery of its later history. After its creation, the Codex Gigas made its way to Prague, where it was housed in the city's library. It survived the upheavals of centuries, including wars and plagues, only to eventually be taken to Sweden as a war trophy in the early 17th century. Since then, it has remained in the Royal Library of Sweden, where it continues to attract visitors with its grand presence and dark lore. Despite its grandeur and historical significance, many questions about the Codex Gigas remain unanswered. The motivations of its creator, the exact circumstances of its production, and the reasons for its eclectic contents are shrouded in mystery. Was it a genuine act of desperation and piety, or was it an elaborate creation designed to evoke awe and fear? The manuscript's origins and purpose continue to inspire speculation and debate. The Codex Gigas stands as a testament to the power of stories and the human imagination. Its massive size, coupled with its enigmatic illustrations and diverse contents, makes it a symbol of the unknown and the extraordinary. The legends surrounding its creation only add to its fascination, turning it into a timeless mystery that continues to captivate all who encounter it. As it rests in the dim light of the Royal Library, the Codex Gigas remains a powerful reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. Its pages whisper of ancient fears, desperate pacts, and the enduring power of the written word to both reveal and conceal the deepest truths. It is a book of unimaginable scale and profound mystery, its secrets waiting to be unearthed by those who dare to confront the shadows of the past. On a remote island in the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, there exists a puzzle as ancient as it is perplexing. The island is Easter Island, and the puzzle is known as Rongorongo, a script that has baffled scholars and mystics alike for over a century. The discovery of Rongorongo is wrapped in intrigue, and the efforts to decipher it have only deepened its mystery. In the 19th century, European explorers arrived at Easter Island, a place of profound isolation and remarkable statues. Among the artifacts they encountered were wooden tablets covered with strange, enigmatic symbols. These inscriptions were unlike anything anyone had ever seen. The script, named Rongorongo, seemed to hold a language or code, but its purpose and meaning remained elusive. The tablets were initially collected by explorers and researchers who were captivated by their mysterious inscriptions. The symbols, more than 100 unique glyphs, were meticulously carved into the wood, but the context and understanding of these symbols were lost over time. The native islanders, whose ancestors had created the script, had largely abandoned its use by the time the Europeans arrived. The language had become a forgotten relic, and its secrets remained locked away. Deciphering Rongorongo has become one of the great intellectual challenges of our age. Many attempts have been made to crack the code, ranging from linguistic analyses to computer-assisted studies. Scholars have tried to match the glyphs with known Polynesian languages, but the results have been inconclusive. Each new attempt has revealed tantalizing glimpses of meaning, only to be frustrated by gaps and inconsistencies. The script appears to encode a complex and sophisticated system of writing, but without a key or more contextual understanding, its exact meaning remains a mystery. Adding to the intrigue, the Rongorongo tablets are accompanied by myths and legends of their own. Some stories suggest that the script was a divine gift or that it contained secret knowledge lost to time. Others claim that the islanders deliberately concealed its meaning to protect sacred knowledge from outsiders. The script's continued elusiveness feeds into these legends, turning the tablets into symbols of the unknown. As researchers and linguists wrestle with the puzzle of Rongorongo, another enigma lurks in the shadows of the Atlantic Ocean, the Bermuda Triangle. This area, defined by the points of Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been the center of countless myths and unexplained phenomena. Stories of ships disappearing without a trace and planes vanishing from radar have fueled both fascination and fear. The Bermuda Triangle has long been associated with mysterious disappearances and unusual events. Historical accounts tell of ships lost at sea under mysterious circumstances and aircraft that vanished without a hint of distress. These stories have given rise to a variety of theories, from the scientifically plausible to the fantastical. Some suggest that natural phenomena like rogue waves or magnetic anomalies might be responsible for the strange occurrences. Others speculate about more outlandish possibilities, such as underwater alien bases or time warps. The myths surrounding the Bermuda Triangle are rich with intrigue and imagination. People have speculated about ancient civilizations lost beneath the waves and supernatural forces at play. The area's reputation as a place of mystery has been bolstered by dramatic stories and media portrayals, each adding to the mystique of the region. Despite the many theories and investigations, the Bermuda Triangle remains a place of profound uncertainty. Scientific studies have attempted to explain the disappearances and anomalies, but many of these explanations fall short of resolving the complete mystery. The region continues to be a hotbed of speculation and debate, where facts and myths intertwine in a web of intrigue. Both Rongorongo and the Bermuda Triangle represent the human fascination with the unknown. Rongorongo's elusive script and the Bermuda Triangle's enigmatic phenomena highlight our desire to uncover and understand the mysteries of the world. They remind us of the limits of our knowledge and the thrill of exploring the unknown. In these mysteries, there is an underlying connection, a shared sense of wonder and curiosity that drives us to seek answers, even when those answers remain just beyond our grasp. Whether it is the cryptic symbols of Rongorongo or the ghostly tales of the Bermuda Triangle, these enigmas continue to captivate and haunt us, leaving us with a sense of awe and an ever-present reminder of the wonders that still lie hidden in the world. In the shadowy recesses of history, where myth mingles with reality, there lies a tale of a city lost to the sea, a place so grand it captured the imagination of generations. Atlantis, the fabled island, emerges from the mists of time like a distant memory, its origins both elusive and tantalizing. The story of Atlantis began with Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, whose writings in the dialogues Timaeus and Critias described a powerful and advanced civilization that flourished thousands of years before his time. According to Plato, Atlantis was a marvel of architecture and technology, a utopia of great wealth and wisdom, situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now recognize as the Strait of Gibraltar. But in a single day and night of misfortune, Atlantis was engulfed by the sea and vanished without a trace. Plato's account was not just a tale of glory and ruin, but a warning about hubris and the downfall of civilizations. For centuries, the story of Atlantis has inspired countless expeditions and theories. Scholars, treasure hunters, and adventurers have scoured the oceans and ancient texts, searching for clues about its location. The Mediterranean, the Caribbean, and even Antarctica have been proposed as potential sites where the sunken city might lie. Each new theory is fueled by fragments of evidence, artifacts, and geological anomalies, but the exact whereabouts of Atlantis remain as elusive as the waves that swallowed it. The mystery of Atlantis has spawned a host of interpretations, each more imaginative than the last. Some believe it was a real place, perhaps a prehistoric civilization that met a cataclysmic end. Others argue that Atlantis was purely allegorical, a metaphor for a powerful society that ultimately fell due to its own excesses. Some even suggest that Plato's story was a clever fabrication designed to convey philosophical truths rather than historical fact. Beyond the tales of lost cities and vanished empires, there is another enigma that stands like a beacon in the annals of ancient history, the Oracle of Delphi. Nestled on the slopes of Mount Parnassus in Greece, Delphi was home to one of the most famous oracles of antiquity. For centuries, people from across the Greek world, and beyond, came to seek the guidance of Pythia, the priestess who was said to channel the prophecies of Apollo, the god of prophecy. The temple at Delphi was a place of profound significance. Pilgrims would arrive with questions about their futures, seeking answers from the enigmatic Pythia, who would deliver cryptic messages while in a trance-like state. These oracles were famous for their vagueness and often required interpretation. Some say Pythia's prophecies were delivered under the influence of vapors rising from fissures in the earth, while others believe her words were divinely inspired. The Oracle of Delphi was not just a religious site but a cultural touchstone. It played a critical role in shaping Greek politics, guiding military decisions, and influencing personal fates. The impact of the oracle was profound, weaving itself into the fabric of ancient Greek life and mythology. Yet, even today, many aspects of Delphi's practices remain shrouded in mystery. How did the oracle manage to influence so many with such enigmatic predictions? What rituals were performed, and how did they relate to the broader spiritual and social life of ancient Greece? Both Atlantis and Delphi carry with them a certain magic, a blend of historical fact and myth that continues to captivate and intrigue. Atlantis remains a symbol of lost grandeur and the fragility of human achievement, while Delphi embodies the mystique of ancient spiritual practices and the power of prophecy. These stories, filled with wonder and unanswered questions, invite us to ponder the deeper truths they may hold about humanity, our desires, and our quest for meaning. They remind us that even in the face of mystery, there is something profoundly human in our search for answers, our imagination, and our connection to the past. In the heart of the world's most ancient legends, two names whisper through the corridors of time: Lemuria and Mu. These lost lands stir the imagination, invoking visions of a forgotten world that once flourished but vanished into the depths of history. Lemuria first emerged in the 19th century, a product of the age's fascination with lost continents. A geologist named Philip Sclater speculated about a land that once connected Africa and India, explaining certain biological similarities between species on these now separated continents. This idea of a vast sunken land, which came to be known as Lemuria, fascinated not only scientists but also writers and dreamers. They painted Lemuria as a utopian civilization, rich in wisdom and culture, whose demise came not with a whimper but with a cataclysmic end. The legend of Mu, on the other hand, is rooted in the works of James Churchward, who claimed to have discovered ancient texts revealing a lost continent in the Pacific Ocean. According to Churchward, Mu was a massive island that once spanned the Pacific, home to a highly advanced civilization. The people of Mu, he argued, were the forebears of many other cultures, and their sudden disappearance left a void that history has yet to fill. As the tales of Lemuria and Mu intertwined with the dreams of countless explorers and scholars, questions arose about their true origins and the nature of their existence. Were they real continents that sank beneath the waves, or were they mythical creations of the human imagination? The unanswered questions about these ancient lands fueled both excitement and skepticism. How could such vast civilizations have vanished so completely? What led to their destruction? Modern interpretations of Lemuria and Mu have ranged from scientific to speculative. Some propose that these legends might be based on genuine geological events, such as the shifting of tectonic plates or ancient volcanic eruptions. Others suggest that they are purely mythological, born from the human need to explain the unknown and the mysterious. In parallel with these ancient mysteries, the story of the 10 lost tribes of Israel echoes through the ages, adding another layer of intrigue to the tapestry of lost civilizations. The 10 tribes were part of the ancient kingdom of Israel, which, according to biblical accounts, was divided into 2 kingdoms, Israel and Judah. After the Assyrian conquest in 722 BCE, the 10 tribes of the northern kingdom were taken into exile and subsequently disappeared from historical records. The fate of these lost tribes has long captivated the imagination. Were they annihilated, or did they escape to distant lands, integrating with other cultures? Various theories propose different destinations. Some believe the tribes migrated eastward into Asia, while others suggest they might have traveled to the Americas or Africa. The search for these tribes has inspired countless expeditions, religious movements, and even speculative fiction. The significance of the 10 lost tribes extends beyond historical curiosity. It touches on the profound human quest for identity and continuity. Their story is intertwined with religious and cultural narratives, representing both a historical enigma and a symbol of enduring faith. The mystery of their disappearance raises questions about the resilience of culture and memory, and the possibility of a lost heritage that might yet be found. The legends of Lemuria, Mu, and the 10 lost tribes weave a rich tapestry of human imagination and historical speculation. They reflect our deepest desires to understand the past, to connect with lost worlds, and to uncover the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of our collective memory. These stories, whether rooted in fact or fantasy, speak to the universal yearning for knowledge and the enduring hope that, despite the passage of time, some truths might still await discovery. In the whispering winds of the Himalayas and the murmurs of ancient texts, one name echoes with a blend of reverence and mystery: Shambhala. This legendary land, shrouded in Tibetan mythology, is said to be a paradise hidden beyond the known world, where wisdom and enlightenment flourish. It is a place that exists both in the physical and spiritual dimensions, known to few and seen by fewer. The quest for Shambhala is as much a journey within as it is a search for a physical place. According to Tibetan lore, Shambhala is a sacred realm located somewhere beyond the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas, a land of eternal peace and advanced spiritual knowledge. It is described as a land where the pure and wise live in harmony, untouched by the corruption of the outside world. Legends tell of its inhabitants being capable of extraordinary feats, possessing immense wisdom that could transform human lives. Over the centuries, Shambhala has fascinated explorers, scholars, and seekers of truth. Despite numerous expeditions and scholarly efforts to locate this elusive land, it remains invisible to the physical eye. Some theories suggest that Shambhala is not a physical place but a metaphor for a state of enlightenment or a higher plane of existence. Others believe it to be hidden by powerful spiritual forces, accessible only to those with the right knowledge or purity of heart. What makes Shambhala especially intriguing is its connection to the quest for spiritual and personal transformation. The search for Shambhala often leads people to profound self-discovery, mirroring the journey of enlightenment that the land itself represents. The myths surrounding Shambhala invite us to look beyond the material world and seek a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. As we journey from the icy heights of Shambhala, we find ourselves drawn to another legendary quest that has captured the imagination of countless generations: the search for the Holy Grail. The Grail, often depicted as a chalice or cup, is believed to be the vessel used by Jesus at the Last Supper and, according to legend, possesses miraculous powers. The quest for the Grail is one of the most enduring and compelling myths in Western history. The origins of the Grail legend are entwined with the Arthurian tales of knights and chivalry. Stories of the Grail's miraculous properties and its role in healing and redemption have inspired countless searches and quests. From medieval romances to modern adventure stories, the Grail represents an ultimate quest for divine grace and eternal life. Its allure is not just in the physical search, but in the spiritual journey it symbolizes. Throughout history, many have set out to find the Holy Grail, with numerous claims about its location ranging from hidden in ancient ruins to buried in forgotten tombs. The Grail's mystery is heightened by its elusive nature. While it is often depicted in stories as being hidden or protected by powerful forces, the true nature of its power remains a mystery. The unanswered questions surrounding the Holy Grail continue to inspire and baffle. Was it ever real, or is it purely a symbol of humanity's quest for spiritual enlightenment? Did the Grail actually possess miraculous properties, or is its power rooted in the belief and faith of those who seek it? The search for the Grail often becomes a metaphor for the search for meaning and purpose in life, reflecting our deepest desires for connection to something greater than ourselves. The legends of Shambhala and the Holy Grail share a common thread. They both represent the human yearning for something profound and transformative. Whether it is a hidden paradise of eternal wisdom or a sacred relic imbued with divine power, these myths speak to our collective quest for meaning, transcendence, and ultimate truth. They remind us that the greatest journeys are often those that take us within, exploring the depths of our own souls as much as they seek to uncover the mysteries of the world around us. In the heart of ancient Jerusalem, where history whispers through the dust of old temples, one relic stirs the imagination and kindles the flames of mystery: the Ark of the Covenant. This sacred chest, described in the Bible as a divine vessel, is said to hold not just religious significance but a power that defies imagination. Its story is a tapestry woven with threads of faith, adventure, and unsolved enigmas. According to biblical accounts, the Ark was crafted by the Israelites under the guidance of Moses, built from acacia wood and overlaid with gold. Its purpose was more than ceremonial; it was believed to house the very presence of God. Inside, it contained the tablets of the Ten Commandments, a golden jar of manna, and Aaron's rod that budded. The Ark was carried into battle and led the people through their trials, embodying divine favor and protection. The Ark's last known location, however, remains a topic of intense speculation and intrigue. According to the Bible, it was placed in the Holy of Holies, the innermost sanctum of Solomon's temple. But as the temple was destroyed and rebuilt, the Ark vanished from historical records. Its disappearance has ignited countless searches and theories, making it one of the most sought-after artifacts in human history. Over centuries, adventurers, historians, and even scholars have scoured the earth in search of the Arkansas. Some believe it was hidden away before the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem and is concealed in a secret location. Others suggest that it might have been taken to Ethiopia, where it is said to be housed in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum. This claim is bolstered by local traditions that speak of an ancient guardian order entrusted with the Ark's safekeeping. Yet, despite extensive searches and numerous claims, the Ark remains elusive. Theories abound, each as captivating as the last. Some suggest that the Ark's power was too dangerous to remain in human hands, and thus it was hidden away by divine intervention. Others speculate that the Ark was destroyed or lost in the chaos of Jerusalem's many sieges. Each theory adds layers to the mystery, creating a rich tapestry of legends and half-truths. Modern interpretations of the Ark story have shifted with advances in science and technology. Archaeologists and historians use cutting-edge tools like ground-penetrating radar and satellite imagery to probe ancient sites. The hope is to uncover clues that might reveal the Ark's fate or confirm the legends of its hidden location. However, these high-tech efforts have yet to yield definitive evidence. Contemporary perspectives on the Ark often blend scientific curiosity with a sense of the sacred. Some see it as a symbol of humanity's quest for understanding and connection with the divine. The Ark's allure endures not only because of its physical mystery, but because it represents a deeper yearning for spiritual truth and divine presence. In a world where science and faith sometimes clash, the Ark stands as a bridge between the two, inviting contemplation and wonder. The impact of modern science and technology on the search for the Ark underscores our persistent fascination with ancient mysteries. As we use advanced methods to uncover the past, we also confront the limits of our knowledge and the enduring power of myth. The Ark of the Covenant remains an enigmatic emblem of faith and history, its story as compelling today as it was thousands of years ago. Its mystery invites us to explore the depths of our own beliefs and the quest for understanding that spans across cultures and ages.